It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants. Welcome again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Here's the former Illini kicker, Chase McLaughlin, to get us started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Jones looking to throw it on the first play. He's got the tight end, Vanette. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You talk about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Jones' throw brought in by Bellinger. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throwing, Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Ben Banagoo providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by an 11th-year passer in the league now. Still best remembered for his heroics in Super Bowl 52, of course, Nick Foles.
When you look at Nick Foles' career in total, you wonder to yourself at times, why has he not been a consistent starter in the league? Because when he's on, he can take a team to the Super Bowl and win it, as he did with Philadelphia.
Foles. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Foles. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now Foles.
They'll run the screen with Moss.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing on 2nd and long. Foles. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Kayvon Thibodeau
coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
So on 4th down, Matt Hawk on to punt for Indy.
Waiting on it will be Richie James. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Jones throwing on 1st down. Incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. And he'll be brought down at the 27. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Moss on the give up the middle. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And they've stopped him on the first 2 downs. Obviously, this is an important play coming up here. I think it's more so for the guys on defense because if they stop him here, I think they've set the tone for the entire game, how difficult it's going to be to score on them.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. That will bring up 4th down and an 11-yard loss to boot.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And New York set to take the field.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Slayton.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Now Jones, off play action. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. And it's caught. Touchdown, Giants.
Daniel Bellinger
from 3 yards out.
And the Giants are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Jones.
Going right side, he finds Slayton.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 41-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A handoff, Barkley running left. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 33.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that one complete to Hodgins. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
Back to throw. Jones. This is caught. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Darius Slayton.
A 1-yard touchdown reception. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Kayvon Thibodeau. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company.
Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
He's got the tight end, Vanette. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now Jones.
He'll find Hodgins there complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing, Jones. Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. and they just executed that one pretty well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Flushed out right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Gano's kick is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. Foles. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Foles. Incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure to give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll go up the middle here with Moss.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. Okay, CD, second quarter, look at their deficit and where they're at on the field. They're going for this, right?
I think that they are, because down at this point, they've just made that big move. Ride the momentum wave while you can. I know people think, hey, you've got to get some points here. Hey, you're riding it big time. Go get it done.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start.
They'll go again here with Moss.
And he takes it in for a Colts score.
Zach Moss.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Colts are back within a score. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. Completion good for 14 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. James has got it. Complete.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Back to throw. Jones. He finds his man. Complete. That's James.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Looking to throw. Jones. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Jones. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Jones. Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. It's a gain of a couple on what should be the final carry of half number 1. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first two quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Now a dump off here complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Moss. And he stopped immediately there. And a tackle there by Micah McFadden.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On second down, it's Moss again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Here's Foles. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, Hall. Pierce has it knocked loose.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. Jones. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Jones now on 1st and 10.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the 24, Jones. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete.
The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Gano's kick is good, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw.
He'll dump that one off to Moss, complete.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw.
Over the middle, into the hands of Woods.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 41, Foles.
The toss here completed to Pittman. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll run on 1st down with Moss.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Right back to Moss.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Moss.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And you know it pains them to be this close, and you know they're going to want to go for it here, but they absolutely have to kick the field goal and get this back to a 1-score game. It's only logical.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And his kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Possession switching back to the New York Giants.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. And that one complete to Hodgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Again, it's Barkley. Oh, what a move. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. He finds his man, complete. That's James. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Back to throw again. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Running left, it's Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to make it a two-score game. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a two-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a two-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On 2nd and 10, Foles. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll set up to throw. Able to find his man, Woods. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Foles looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Foles. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Colts on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. They take a shot downfield there, but it lines up falling incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. And New York set to take the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
From the 30 on 2nd down, Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Throwing Jones. He'll find Hodgins there complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's got it to about the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Jones. And he'll be held down at about the 30-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. have some fun. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now Moss hit, and the football pops free.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now Foles. Pass out left, caught by Woods. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for in May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they can afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Foles. They'll run the screen with Moss. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll try and run for this with Moss.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Going with their tight end on forward. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Now, the gadget play here on fourth down winds up backfiring. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. Off play action. Jones. Looking deep downfield.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Jones throw on target to James.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And a short gain here down to the 22. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll run it again with Barkley.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal.
That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. Gano's kick is good. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. Foles ready to lead this offense. Down by 16. A minute 55 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man, it's Woods. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He's got his tight end, Mo Alley-Cox, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 30 yards there, and, of course, the first down as well.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. As is complete to Woods. He's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. He'll get it inside the 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Second and 8 coming up. He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.